Greetings, everyone. This is Eric Hong, Executive Director of Momiji Healthcare Society, speaking to you about COVID-19 pandemic on Thursday, July the 8th, 2021. Today I want to talk to you about three things: the anti-COVID-19 vaccination at Momiji, the Ontario reopening plan, and how the reopening plan relates to policy at Momiji. So first of all, about the COVID-19 vaccination at Momiji. Momiji Seniors Residence as a congregate living setting for older adults is considered by the Ontario government as a priority location for vaccination against the COVID-19 pandemic. On Friday, June 25th, our local hospital, Scarborough Health Network, deployed a mobile vaccination team to Momiji to give our tenants their second shot of the Pfizer vaccine. I am pleased to report that virtually all of our tenants are now fully vaccinated. I can also share with you that the vast majority of our staff have also completed their vaccination protocol. Secondly, about the Ontario reopening plan. Many of you are aware that the province of Ontario has developed and is implementing a three-stage reopening plan. The plan is intended to systematically and gradually relax the various restrictions that have been imposed on the community for infection prevention and control purposes as we continue to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic. The activation of each stage of that plan is tied to such critical indicators as the reaching of specific levels of vaccination among the population of Ontarians, the number of people having to be admitted to hospitals and treated in intensive care units, the continued reduction in infection spread in the community, and other indicators. Currently, Ontario is in Stage 2 of the reopening plan decreed by the provincial government. It means, among other things, up to 25 people can gather in outdoor settings. Up to 5 people, regardless of whether they are from the same household, can gather indoors. Essential and non-essential businesses can open within certain capacity limits. Personal care services such as hair salons can open within specific capacity limits. Outdoor dining is also allowed for up to 6 people at a table. Those of you who are interested in but are not aware of the specific current Stage 2 provisions of the Ontario reopening plan can check them out at the Reopening Ontario webpage or the city's COVID-19 Guide for Residents webpage. How does that impact on Momiji? At Momiji Seniors Residence, we had implemented many infection prevention and control measures to protect our tenants. These restrictions have been modeled after guidelines, advices, and regulations issued by the various levels of government and by public health. They limited the number of people we can allow into the building to visit our tenants. It allowed us to limit the number of people attending activities within our premises and gathering. With the provincial government implementing Stage 2 of its Reopening Ontario plan, and Toronto Public Health having issued revised guidelines for infection prevention and control, Momiji is also adjusting its policies and recommendations for tenants in our seniors residence accordingly. Whereas previously, occupants of each apartment in Momiji Seniors Residence can receive only one designated family visitor, each household can now receive multiple visitors with up to 5 people, including the tenants, gathering within each apartment at any one time. Tenants can also choose to meet with a larger number of visitors outdoors in the garden or around sitting areas that has been set up in front of the Momiji building. In accordance with the Ontario reopening provisions, up to 25 people, tenants included, can attend outdoor gatherings. As a matter of Momiji policy, we continue to recommend that people gathering indoors and outdoors wear face masks except when consuming refreshments. Maintain social distancing, meaning they should be keeping 6 feet apart from each other, and to practice frequent hand washing with sanitizer or soap and water during the gathering. Momiji continues to require visitors to check in at the screening desk at the entrance to be screened for infection risk, and to leave contact information at the screening desk so that they can be reached in the event of there being an outbreak at Momiji and public health requires for contact tracing to be done. Although most tenants are fully vaccinated, we strongly urge that visitors themselves be vaccinated before they start attending Momiji, both for their own protection as well as that for the tenants. Momiji is gradually reintroducing small group activities for tenants on Momiji premises. However, we do not recommend informal gathering of tenants and visitors in indoor public spaces within Momiji at this time. This restriction will be reviewed and likely lifted at a later point in time. As to visitors from out of province and out of Canada, we urge you to consult the online government information resource at travel.gc.ca/travel-restrictions/wizard-start, as well as specific additional provisions that is put out by the Government of Ontario. Please note that where the government specifies for anyone to be quarantined or visitors coming into the country to go into self-isolation on arrival, they cannot do so in the apartment of the tenant that they are here to visit. The size and the physical layout of the apartments at Momiji Seniors Residence is simply not large enough to allow isolation of a visitor apart from the tenant in the same household. Visitors who are required to be quarantined must do so somewhere else before visiting any tenant at Momiji Seniors Residence. As the Minister of Health of Ontario has said, the province is being patient and cautious while proceeding with Ontario reopening. We cannot afford to lessen our vigilance. Likewise, Momiji will be cautious in returning to the new normal so as not to risk wasting all the efforts expended by all and success achieved so far in keeping everyone here safe and well despite the threat of the COVID pandemic that has been upon us for the past almost year and a half. I hope you have found this information useful. If you have any question, please ask it of any Momiji staff. Thank you.